Canberra on the field now at Bruce Stadium for this encounter with the touring Great Britain party. Let's have a look at this Canberra side. It bears very little resemblance to their normal first-grade lineup. It's Mullins at fullback, Croker on one wing and Hoppy on the others. In the centres, Norton and Gale. The halves are O'Sullivan and Stewart. And then the pack comprises Bellamy at the back, Coyne and Graham. And then up front, it's David Woods, Gary McDonald and Steve Stone. This is the first match of the touring party's visit to the Winfield Cup clubs, and Gary Schofield is the captain. And we'll have a quick look at the Great Britain side for you. Steadman at fullback, Eastwood and Hunt on the wings, Newlove and Lachlan in the centres. Then it's Schofield and Gregory, the halves. Clark at lock forward, Jackson and Betts in the second row, Platt and Skerritt front row, and Dermott is the hooker. Standing by for the national anthem. Referee for the match is Greg McCallum. Great Britain running from right to left. So time on, and there's the kick-off off the boot of Gary Schofield, going deep down into Canberra territory for Sean Hoppy to bring it back, and he's met by the Great Britain defence and banged into the ground by two of the forwards. Lock forward Philip Clark and second rower Michael Jackson. Joining me in commentary for this match is Peter Sterling.
And Ray, even though we have got a substandard side out there for Canberra, certainly not a lot of established first graders, very important game for the Great Britain tourists, less than a week to the first test, and a lot of players out there will be involved in that test match. Certainly the likes of Gary Schofield, Dennis Betts, quite a few of these faces we will see against Australia next Friday.
Stewart puts it onto the right foot and the big kick goes down for Graham Steadman to come back. There's a little bit of tape on that left knee. He suffered a bit of an injury, I believe, up in Papua New Guinea.
He's only touched the ball a couple of times so far, and been a handful for the defence. He was close to the English Player of the Year during the last season, so he's had a marvellous year and certainly started this game off in the right fashion.
Ball played by Alan Hunt. Through to Gregory. He has to throw the dummy as the defence comes up quickly on Schofield. He floats it out to Lachlan. Lachlan makes about 25 metres and is tackled just beyond the Canberra 32-metre line. Dennis Betts going into dummy half. Canberra penalised for holding the Great Britain player down in the tackle. Schofield opts to go for the line as you see the replay of the incident. And McCallum not taking any part of overindulgence in the tackle. Kelvin Skerritt again. This forward line-up, as I said, very close to the test pack. Andy Platt. 9 metres from the line. Dermott, we saw him in the Nissan Sevens. Through Gregory. Short ball away, and here's Betts. 3 metres away from the line. Platt calling it wide. It's gone to Gregory. Clark, and now Platt strolls in for the easiest of tries. Well, they simply outnumbered Canberra, and Andy Platt goes in under the crossbar to score for the touring party.
And very good pressure here from the Great Britain side. It's been all them for the first 5 or 10 minutes, and look at that hole there. Andy Gregory, a great reader of play, especially close to the line, was able to pick up Platt, and a very simple try. We see the outside men moving up too quickly for the Canberra Raiders. An easy try under the posts. And more bad news for Canberra. Sean Hoppy has left the field. He is one of their regular first graders. He's been replaced by James Hunt.
And Paul Lachlan lines up the easiest of conversion attempts. Big lump of a centre. And he gets the further 2 points for the Great Britain side. They lead now over Canberra by 6 points to 0. You like this strip, Peter?
I do, Ray. It's we've gone away from the traditional strip that we've seen England play before, and I think that they're keeping up with the times. I think they're very attractive, and all their gear. I had a look at their tracksuits earlier. They look very smart.
Here's Dennis Betts, player with enormous talent. Dermott is the dummy half, a busy player.
Well, really, Betts is the best player in England, and certainly the player that the clubs in the Winfield Cup are chasing. Very difficult to get him across here. I know John Money has got him tied up. Betts, who actually was hurt in that tackle, he is their #1 strike player.
Platt now. Dermott tries to scamper away from dummy half, but it's number 9 on 9. Steve Stone making the tackle. Well, he's played the ball the wrong way. It's got to be a penalty. Whether he was facing the wrong end of the park.
Well, the hand's gone up. He's given himself up here. Obviously just disorientated, got up and played it the wrong way. It certainly threw the Canberra players out of whack.
Setting up a play, 15 metres out from the line. David Woods, he puts the foot on the pedal. Gets it about 7 metres away from the line. Rick Stewart, O'Sullivan. Coins coming up on the outside. O'Sullivan takes the tackle of Gregory. Graham. Ooh, this will bring a penalty. It'll be against the second row forward, Michael Jackson. Ricky Stewart is having words with the referee over, I'm sure, this same incident. Jackson let go with a high one. There it is, bang, right over the top of the head. Graham had a crew cut prior to the incident. He's got a shorter one now. Ricky Stewart has got a relatively simple kick at goal. He pushes it a fraction wide. No goal for Rick Stewart. And Great Britain lead Canberra by 6 points to 0 midway through the first half. It's a big drop kick. Canberra's fullback was standing too shallow, Brett Mullins.
Well, there was no urgency in the Canberra team to get back at all. The 3 players running back actually had their back turned when the ball sailed over their head. So they really have to tune on here.
Woods taking a battering in there. Stone. Good yards out to the 32-metre line. Bellamy. Now this is Ian Graham. Left knee heavily taped. Knock on by Chris O'Sullivan. So Great Britain will come up with the ball 10 metres into their opposition half.
And here's Graham, a very tall customer, popping the ball out the back to O'Sullivan. No doubt the knock on.
Might see a flash of the Great Britain backline on this occasion as the lock forward works with Andy Gregory. Gregory wrestled to the ground. 32 metres away. Rick Stewart, the tackler. And coming away is the wing 3/4 Eastwood. Pulled down by Stewart, working out from marker. Dermott getting the pass away for Betts to go into heavy traffic. Dennis Betts to play it. Martin Dermott is the dummy half, and Gregory wants it. Here he is. Lets one go. Then across to Schofield. Now for New Love onto Lachlan, out to Hunt. Hunt goes down the line, steps inside, loses a shoe. Now he heads for the line and gets a try. Nice piece of work. Try scored by Alan Hunt.
Well, you said we might see a flash of the English backline, and that's exactly what we saw. Some beautiful hands there from Gary Schofield and Paul Newlove. And what about the finish there from Hunt? Certainly had some players to beat. Andy Gregory to Gary Schofield. That was a great ball. That was a better ball from Newlove. And Hunt here had some work to do, had to beat 3 or 4 defenders to do so. Some poor defence there. Mullins will be disappointed with that tackle. He certainly had a good shot at him. And just to make things even better, improved the position to under the posts.
Did I say Martin Offier wasn't playing in this game?
Well, he showed some fancy footwork, but that was lovely work from the inside backs. Look at that pass. Beautiful pass from Paul Lachlan. And just, he looks a very well-balanced runner. The legs move, but the head stays still. And he beat 4 defenders to score under the posts. Pretty happy about it, Alan Hunt.
We've seen plenty of their forwards early on. And then a flash of the back line. The attempted conversion is wide from Lachlan. So no addition to that scoreline. Great Britain leading Canberra 2 tries to 0 and 10 points to 0. Good play. Right. And already Peter Sterling, may I be bold enough to say that on what I've seen, and I know this is not anywhere near their test side, but they have got plenty of class, this team.
Well, there's no doubt that the Great Britain side are going to field a very good test side. In the past, probably the difference between the two countries has been that Australia could probably field 2 or 3. But no doubt the test side named by the Great Britain team will be very competitive. And maybe that gap is also closed as well. They might have a few fringe players who are first-class test players.
Dennis Betts playing it back on his own 22. This is Clark. Out and away with a little step and a fend. 32 metres out from his own line. Flat. Now Gregory Schofield and now New Love. He's lost the ball down on the halfway mark. This should be play on. It's a turnover anyway. And David Woods will play it right on the halfway mark. Stewart, long ball away for O'Sullivan. Chris gets it on now for Scott Gale. Gale puts down the foot on the pedal and he gets it inside. And James Hunt is wrapped up 10 metres into Great Britain's area. O'Sullivan gets it away for Stone. Now it's Stewart dances into the traffic zone. And Skerritt is there with Dermott to stop his progress. Bellamy for Coyne. Inside for McLennan, and it goes across now. Quick hands, Scott Gale. McDonald was that fellow's name, with my apologies. Across now from Stone to Stewart and now to Coyne. Coyne stands, hit, spin. Stewart takes it back. Betts can't put him down. Scott Gale goes ahead, reaches the 22 zone. 10-0 in favour of the touring side. Stone works the blind. Bellamy takes it ahead. Here's a call inside, looked outside. 12 metres out from the line. Stone, last tackle. O'Sullivan, Stewart. Stewart goes to the air. And it's a high ball coming down in the end goal. And, oh, he's made a mess of it, Eastwood. Over the dead ball line. So it'll be a line drop out to restart. The fullback Stedman takes the line drop out.
There's no doubt the first thing we do look at with touring sides when they come out from England is their defence. And that's been very impressive tonight. They've shifted well in defence when needed to go up on both sides. They've done that particularly well, and really their defensive effort has been very good, and I think that's what Malcolm really tonight will be looking for. If they can keep the opposition from crossing their try line, he'll be very happy with the performance.
Bellamy. McDonald and Graham, a couple of new faces in the side, but they're both very big lads. Stewart kicks ahead, tries to get a regather. Put on the foot by Croker. Waited nicely. Will he make it? Yes! Yes! Try! Jason Croker. Originally off the boot of Ricky Stewart. Then they laid it on, and Croker gets a try for Canberra.
Well, I put the mock on the English side. As soon as I mentioned their defence, they were caught out. Ricky Stewart, a lucky bounce there, but Croker came from offside and did very well. Some nice soccer skills there. Graham Stedman, unfortunately, had to turn and chase, and he was left in no man's land. Croker able to get there 5 metres in front of any other defensive player coming across.
Have a look at Stewart's kick. I think it comes off his foot and hits him on the head. Watch this. Yeah, there's a new one for you, Sterlo.
Well, it takes some ability to do that as well. Well, that's, as I said, some great soccer skills from both players. Jason Croker, he didn't have much room to spare there, but he certainly weighted the ball very well.
Well, there it is again from Ricky Stewart. Off the foot, onto the chin, then ahead for Croker to kick. And it was all planned that way, let me tell you.
It was planned. I'd have lost it up the nose, unfortunately, but Stewart, he's done that at training a bit, so it's worked. It's going to be 6 points. He's got the kick in front. He moves in. No mistake.
So, Canberra on the board well and truly now. Great Britain 10, Canberra 6. Ricky Stewart coming from the field, and number 19 going on, that's Adam Friend. Don't want to stretch that conversation too much further, because far be it from me to pick on any part of your anatomy, but if it had happened to you, they would have been still looking for the ball.
Thanks very much, Ray.
Well, that's okay, Friend. Gary Schofield gets us going again. Well, that's not a knock on. It's come off the chest. But I think he's ruled the same way as I saw it. Away in jumper number 14 for Canberra is Jones. Mark Jones, he was listed in 21, but playing in jumper number 14. O'Sullivan. And ahead goes McDonald. This might be a test for Canberra. It's a test for the commentators too, I'll tell you. I'm having more trouble with the Canberra side than Great Britain. I don't mind telling you. Steadman goes back.
He's just sitting up here hoping that Ricky Stewart and Gary Coyne will take the football forward. Stewart's left the field, but a penalty here to Great Britain. That's about the third penalty that Canberra have conceded, pushing the man down in the play the ball area. You see Steadman tackled there. A nice tackle, and really didn't have to force the issue. Has done so, and the penalty will find touch just inside the Canberra halfway.
Laughlin's touch finder. Great Britain come up now 15 metres into Canberra's area, and Kelvin Skerritt is hit by some willing defence. David Woods is taking his opportunity here with Canberra tonight. He's grabbed it with both hands, playing strongly. He started off as a regular member of the Canberra first grade side earlier this year. Good run by Clark. He's son of the former very good Great Britain player Colin Clark.
And he's been the best player out there tonight, I believe.
Schofield finding Dermott, and now it's with Platt. Platt hammered over the top there by Pickering in 18. So Tim Sheen starting to get... New Love gets through, gets the pass away to Eastwood, and Eastwood goes in to score.
Well, once again, Ray, put it down to the skills of Gary Schofield. Read the play beautifully from dummy half, saw that they were short on the blind side, was able to pick up Paul Newlove. Very exciting young centre. Here's Gary Schofield. He knows that they're short on the blind side. Russell Mullins caught in two minds, and the big step caught Mullins out from Newlove. Wasn't selfish, picked up Paul Eastwood, and that's a very good try in the corner. Well engineered. Very simple try, but well executed. Here's Schofield again taking the defence on. And there's Mullins. It looks pretty slippery out there. Newlove did well. Paul Eastwood, well, he got the ball down. Can score some points, Eastwood.
The attempted goal for Paul Lachlan. 1 out of 2 from the sideline. That's his angle. 30 metres out. Left the boot nicely, but he's punched it away. No goal, and 14 points to 6 remains the scoreline in this Saturday night telecast of Great Britain versus Canberra. That sends it down deep into Great Britain's territory, and this is Holiday coming back for the Great Britain tourist. He's on, and I believe taking the place of lock forward Clark. Dennis Betts, 15 metres out from their own line.
Well, I've actually sold you a dummy there, Ray. Clark is still on the field. Just have to determine, must be one of the back rowers who've been replaced. That'd be Michael Jackson, I think, and the number 12 has come off.
Schofield throws the dummy, makes the incisive run, and gets outside the 22 line. Lachlan is the dummy half, and Platt goes ahead, up to the advantage line. Or actually, he went further than that. Canberra failed to move up inside the 5, and Gregory weights that ball down. It'll be brought back by Friend. Now it's away for Croker. Got a nice try for Canberra. Midway 22, halfway, his own end of the ground. Cross now through O'Sullivan. It's with him now, in fact. Chris O'Sullivan using Hunt, and now it's Norton. Norton puts on a sprint, and he's pulled down about 7 or 8 metres short of the halfway mark. Stone, shorter pass away for Gary Coyne. Looked to put it away to a runner on his outside, but took it to ground. This is McDonald. Canberra with plenty of replacements on there. This is Jones playing in number 14. Back inside and away from Croker. Pickering is wearing the number 18.
They're just starting to grab a little in defence, Great Britain, now as we're coming up to half-time. Decide to go wide, Canberra on the last tackle. Chris O'Sullivan runs out of options, drops one over the top of Alan Hunt. Fine touch. But a few defensive lapses starting to come into the Great Britain performance now. They get a little bit tired.
The Canberra side, a little bit of a reshuffle there. And Great Britain come up with it. Hunt. What a nice try he scored on the end of a backline raid. Beautiful to see that sort of rugby league, isn't it? Skerritt. Stone underneath. Over the top was Norton. Now Holiday. I tell you what, they're not lacking in size, the touring party. Not lacking in size at all. Skerritt.
Well, they're going to need that size, Ray, of course, coming up against the likes of Paul Harrigan and Glenn Lazarus. The side also in the Australian side. It should be a tremendous test match. Some great forward clashes, and certainly both teams some very skillful backs.
Steadman. Left-footed kick, dangerously close to the sideline. And Hunt goes back with it. I'll tell you what, I've noticed that Dennis Betts has been beaten a few times in defence. He seems to plant those two big feet and he doesn't stay on the balls of his feet. He doesn't stay alert, if I can use that expression. He's been beaten a couple of times. Well,
a couple of times, Ray, he's also gone up one out too and hasn't communicated with the player on either side, and that makes you an easy task to beat if you are going up against a player who has got some evasive skill.
Ball played by Pickering. Spun away for Chris O'Sullivan. He dummies to Coyne. They call on David Woods. And referee McCallum has called a shepherd. Properly described an obstruction against the defence. And Great Britain come up with the penalty. About 7 or 8 metres on their side of the halfway. This was the incident. Coyne went through running decoy. Woods went down the same tram lines. And an obstruction was created against Great Britain. For all the penalties. As the tap is to be taken by Dermott. And this is Skerritt. Betts. 3 Canberra Raiders involved in the tackle on Betts. Cut-out ball out for Gregory. Schofield comes in. Schofield, he's into space. He's over the 22 line and pulled down. Wrapped up there by Friend. Lachlan gives it away for Gregory. He kicks ahead, and here's another try for Andy Platt. Platt gets it down again. Ah, beautiful little kick by Andy Gregory.
Just class play from 2 players there from Great Britain. The 7 and the 6, they're really controlling things out there. Gary Schofield, a great bust. Just some nice footwork to make the initial break. A quick play of the ball. We see it here now. They decide to go the open side, and Andy Gregory realises there's nobody at home. Both players on side, both Clark and Platt could have scored the try. Platt gets there to score his second.
Attempted conversion taken by the fullback Steadman this time, and he gets the extras. So Great Britain leading Canberra, coming up to half-time by 20 points to 6.
Not a good sight for Great Britain here with Andy Gregory limping from the field. He's been replaced by Derek Fox, the Featherston Rovers halfback, who actually came into the touring squad in place of Bobby Goulding.
Hunt. Tackled by Gary Coyne and also by Chris O'Sullivan. Chris, of course, would have played against many of these players. Not long returned from a stint in England. Played by Dermott. Given away by Clark for Betts. Betts forced back by Stone over the top of Pickering's tackle. And now Schofield calls on Lachlan to try and go through. Lachlan put down midway 22 halfway his own end of the ground. Dummy half is new love, 20 years of age. Played for Great Britain when he was only 18. Clark. He'll play it back for Martin Bennett. Back now for the kick to the fullback Steadman. And this is going down over the head of Jason Croker. Will it find touch? Yes, it will. Only about 10 metres away from the Canberra line. I was talking to Jonathan Davis, who did that stint with Canterbury. He's out covering this tour for Sky Channel England. And he said they'll be using this match as a very serious attempt to get their act together Great Britain. Apparently they haven't been all that impressive in Papua or in North Queensland.
No, I did speak to a couple of players, Lee Crooks and Gary Schofield, before the game, and they said that a few of the players' form were down. They had been a little bit disappointed, but they hadn't lost a game as the penalty is awarded to Canberra. They hadn't lost a game, and that was the important thing. And of course, we are less than a week away the Test match. They have an important game on Monday, but most of their Test players will be on show throughout this game. And they need to keep that winning record intact just for their confidence.
That's a bad mistake by Canberra, failing to find the line off the differential penalty. Eastwood came back with it. Schofield runs the angle. Half-time siren sound. Schofield kicks ahead. Mullins in a race back there with Woods, and coming through is Dermott. But well done by Canberra. Steve Stone cleaning up. No addition to the scoreboard as we go to the half-time break. And Great Britain leading Canberra by 20 points to 6. We'll be back with all the second half action in just a moment.
Raiders 20 points to 6. And we see the reasons here. Statistics, a very good 40 minutes from the tourists, and plenty of breaks made in general play. 6-2 against the Canberra side. And look at the missed tackles. That tells the story. 16 missed tackles for Canberra, only 6 to Great Britain. They'll be pretty happy with that, and they'll certainly be very happy with the scoreboard.
Greg McCallum blows time on. We're underway for the second half of this match now. And the kickoff by Friend being brought back by Alan Hunt. One of the try scorers for Great Britain in that first half. Great Britain leading by 20 points to 6. A couple of tries to Andy Platt. And of course, one to Hunt. Another scored by Lachlan. And 20 points to 6, repeating the scoreline. Skerritt. Cowie, the big replacement on for Great Britain, not hard to pick. Probably looks a little bit like Dennis Betts, but he's got this big crop of red hair. Dermott away. Steadman kicks.
He's really looked a class act at fullback for Great Britain, as Graham Steadman. He's kicked particularly well, made some incisive runs, and he will be the fullback for Great Britain and one of their key players. Played very well tonight. Looks very safe in the custodian position.
Hunt wrapped up and forced back by the Great Britain touring party. Jones. Bellamy. Now Graham makes a half break. Hurt himself.
The referee's called medical attention straight away. It was Dennis Betts who's missed the tackle. But Graham has clutched straight for the knee. You can already see it's heavily bandaged.
Gary McDonald returns to the field. Bellamy. O'Sullivan, he kicks for the winger on the far side. Scrum will form with the ball finding touch midway, 22 halfway on the Great Britain end of the ground. Derek Fox. Schofield kicks on the first tackle. Rehearsed play. Going back very fast for Canberra is James Hunt. But Steadman was the man that led the race for Great Britain.
Some nice enterprise shown there from Great Britain. A nice turn of speed. And what about this for defence?
Oh, isn't it nice? Little Derek Fox picked him up, drove him over the line.
Well, that super play, a good kick and a good chase, and followed it up here. Derek Fox got in nice and low, was able to push the Canberra player back over with the help of Steadman, and they forced a line drop out. They come the length of the field in 2 plays.
Line drop out. That will see Great Britain come back. Probably up to the 40-metre line. Clark did a fraction better than that. Cowie. He's got the Boris Becker haircut.
It does show the depth of the Wigan team, I'm sorry. Cowie actually came on as a replacement as Derek Fox picks up Newlove in the centres. Nice play. Came on as a replacement in the Challenge Cup final. Couldn't make the starting lineup, so they certainly have got plenty of depth.
They're 22 metres from the line now. Dermott floats it across for Lachlan. And this big centre is pulled down 15 metres away from the line. Now this is Holiday. He's 5 metres out, tried to get a pass away, but Canberra come up with it.
Well, if the pass hadn't stuck, it would have been another try to Great Britain, but probably one that shouldn't have been thrown. They had the opposition under plenty of pressure. Now Canberra looking to work it away from their own line.
Through Pickering. Jones. Stone. Held by Schofield and Newlove. Betts coming in as the third tackler. Coyne gets it back. Jones following through. Stone back for the kick. Friend
puts the ball down. Graham Steadman, a little bit of fingertip control there. And watch this step. He'll throw 3 or 4 in here. No, he's tried to beat him on the outside. A very, very good chase there from the winger.
Well, that's somebody out there in Sean Hoppy's jumper, Peter. So Canberra are really making it difficult for us now. I understand the plight that they've got, and I understand how difficult it is for them, but it'd be nice if we could find out who these players are that are duplicating in jumpers. Now, big run by Dennis Betts. Look at him stride out. Well, that's got to be a penalty. Hunt was pulled back out of the play.
Yes, a professional foul. We saw the ball attempted to be taken by Alan Hunt, but he had somebody hang on to his jersey. Good ball from Gary Schofield again to Dennis Betts. A long pass. We see the tackle being committed just a little bit early here. Dennis Betts, a nice turn of speed. He's got both Lachlan and Hunt on the outside. Probably should have given the ball to Lachlan. I think he'd have nearly scored, the number 4.
Chris O'Sullivan's down for attention. I think this is also a knee problem. Canberra put Scott Gale back into the match in jumper number 20. Schofield taking the touch finder with the penalties 8-5 in favour of Canberra. Here's Cowie charging ahead, taking it inside the 10-metre line. So let's see what the tourists do here. Skerritt, 5 metres out.
I think they'll look to go back the other way eventually for Paul O'Loughlin wide.
Here they go. Dermott, the run around on Betts, and now Clark pulled down 3 metres from the line. Schofield's running back to the blind side. He wants it there. Dermott has pulled down. Dummy half is Clark. Again they go towards that blind, but Clark has made a mistake.
Well, he just tried to get the ball away from dummy half too quickly. In fact, most of the Great Britain players had panned around to the open side. So it fell apart there, but some good previous play. Certainly a nice bust down the sideline from Dennis Betts.
Canberra with another replacement on in 3. That's young Spinks. Michael Spinks is on in jumper number 3.
Well, he's been taken in touch here. A bad mistake there, and a good tackle from Paul Eastwood. The crowd don't like it, but he still was in the motion of tackling when he took the Canberra player over the sideline. Here we see, pretty slippery out there. Seen a few players. That's a nice tackle. Good work from Derek Fox there, running around the scrum so that his hooker gets a good view of when he actually does arrive.
There goes Fox away himself on the open side. Delivers for Schofield, who spins it out for Newlove. He tries to dance out of a tackle. Schofield a dummy half. Dennis Betts right on the 32-metre line. Canberra's end. Steadman. Cowie. That pitch out there, Peter, I think it's quite greasy.
Yes, it is. We've seen a lot of players unable to keep their footing. Well, that's nearly a shepherd there. Yeah, he's got to pull them up eventually. Probably 2 or 3 involved there, only before a defender was impeded. But a lot of players have had trouble with the footing out there, and the long studs certainly are needed. Here we see Derek Fox coming across. Finally picks up Michael Jackson, and there, well, we see two or 3 players impeded by the decoy players having already gone through.
Pickering takes it ahead. Bellamy. Woods. drafting their way up now towards the 40-metre line.
As I mentioned, that's where Great Britain do appear a little bit vulnerable with the inside ball or the inside pass to a man coming back at an angle. Sometimes a little bit lazy, the man coming across in cover defence.
Friend doing the run around with Norton. 35 metres out from the line, Canberra. Scott Gale, the dummy half. McDonald, good bumping run, good strong performance. 5 tackles gone, they're on the 22 line. Bellamy puts the bomb up, but it's a horror. Coming back down to Canberra. That's the only thing they could do with it, and Great Britain come up with it now. Stedman will play it back on his own 10-metre line. Lachlan. Sloppy played the ball. Hunt. Now we've found
David Woods being called out. He's appealing against an elbow thrown his way. The penalty will go to Great Britain. Here we see Hunt going forward. A little short left there thrown by David Woods is penalised. Dermott will take the tap just inside his own half.
I've just been told by the Canberra bench that Cannon is in 3 and Spinks is in 2 for Canberra.
And Ray, this is the time that Great Britain will really need to keep their concentration into the final quarter of the game, and this is where I think Australia will believe they'll get away with Great Britain. A good ball there from Gary Schofield once again to Michael Jackson. This is where they have to maintain their intensity for the full 80 minutes.
Stedman. Dermott. Betts. Straight ahead and hard. 5 tackles gone against Great Britain. They go back for the drop goal attempt. Charge down by Canberra. 6 more tackles. Schofield comes away with it. Well, that was a real ricochet effect, that. Now, Cowie, beautiful ball. Skerritt forced down. He should have given a penalty there. He's played the advantage. Newlove, he crashes across. Further 4 points to Great Britain to lead now by 24 points to 6.
Well, I'll certainly prefer scoring the 4 or 6 points than the one that Gary Schofield tried to line up. And Newlove really did it all himself, coming out of dummy half. Some good footwork. Canberra defence getting a little bit tight. Didn't get up off the line very quickly, and some nice footwork there from the young centre from Great Britain, able to score the try.
The attempted conversion. Left foot kicker of the ball. And he's pushed it out. It's hit the upright and bounced away. No addition to the scoreboard. Great Britain 24, Canberra 6.
Betts early marks. We're keeping them in cotton wool now to the test, I would imagine. A very young player has gone on in Gary Connolly from St Helens, fullback or centre, I'm sorry. Played at Wembley as something like a 17 or 18-year-old. He's just about to catch the football now.
This is Michael Jackson. Away goes Eastwood. About 5 metres out from his own 22. Dermott goes a couple of paces, gets it away to Holiday. Now it's on to Clark. Clark gets over the halfway line. Grassing tackle by Friend. Now it's out and away from Fox. Through to Dermott. On to Skerritt. Skerritt is tackled 5 metres or 35 metres out from the Canberra line.
I'm sure Graham Stedman had a stint with the Gold Coast a couple of years ago, Ray, and he certainly looks a far more polished player than what we saw in that particular stint. He really has impressed tonight. Looking to get involved.
Fox punching that ball, keeping it low. Nagus goes back, and did it come off his hand? Very close to the line. Here it is. No, he left it well alone. Craig Bellamy. Nagus. That's Michael Spinks. Pickering. Strong effort to get outside the quarter. Coyne. Bellamy knocked down. Well, McCallum has said that it was knocked backwards. Friend with a long run for Canberra. Over the halfway. Finds Scott Gale. Lachlan showing a lot of speed. Gale to play it.
They should score if they come left here. They've got numbers. They've decided to go right. Went the wrong way.
Friend, he tries to get it out. I think he may have lost it. McCallum has said give the ball to him to play. And away it goes for David Woods, but he couldn't get it across that line. And a penalty goes to Canberra. Coyne, back for Woods, wide for Norton. Norton out now. This is Cannon. He'll score. Cannon puts it down. Look at the boy. He loves it.
Well, they may have well defended well all night, Great Britain, but it fell apart with a bad miss there from Paul Newlove in the centres. Some nice sustained pressure there from Canberra. They got another set of six. Gary Coyne decided to come wide. The ball finally comes to Cannon. They really hit this ball at pace, and there's... Well, it's not Newlove. It's, in fact, the winger, Paul Eastwood, who's missed his man. Had a good shot at him as well. And up go the hands. They did have a couple of numbers out wide. But Paul Eastwood read this well, came in. There's the... Well, he had to make that tackle. Just got pushed off in the end. And Cannon scores the try. 24 points to 10. Kick to come. Malcolm really won't be happy with that defensive effort.
Friend it is that's going to attempt conversion. And here he is from just off centre, converting the try. So he plays an even more important role. And 24 points to 12 becomes the fresh scoreline in favour of the touring side, Great Britain. Something to cheer about. Fox. Hunt comes back. Crunching tackle by Skerritt. Cowie over the top assisting. Jones. Away for Bellamy and then put down. Well, this will mount enormous pressure for Canberra. The scrum undoubtedly will be won by Great Britain, only 10 metres from the line.
Very wide blind side here. I'm surprised to see Derek Fox with Clark. Maybe put on a blind side play. Alan Hunt standing very wide.
In fact, he feeds the ball on the blind side. Steadman comes in, makes the extra man in there, but the fullback was chopped down by Bellamy. Fox to Clark. Dummies on the outside to Hunt. 9 metres from the line. They're starting to stack numbers back on the blind side. But now Michael Jackson takes it within 3 metres of the line. Dermott, they're going back to where those numbers were mounting. Well, they were going to.
Well, they're still there, Ray. They'll go there again.
Fox, Skerritt. Skerritt bumps his way over the line. No, held up. Or did he lose the ball over the line?
He may have lost the ball. He certainly got well and truly over the try line. Oh, well, there it goes. He dropped it from a metre in the air.
And what's he about to say?
Crying out loud.
Yes, I'm sure that's all he was going to say. Let off for Canberra. Holiday picking off Friend, getting him in mid-air. Away now for James Hunt. Bellamy. Gale. Connolly goes back. Starts the run down the ground. Running towards the flank. Occupied by Hunt. They keep pushing that way. Eastwood. Cowie. Oh, good strong run. Look at him go. Mick Cowie, the front row forward.
They do have some good speed in the side, the English pack. Cowie made a good bust there. Only a couple of minutes left to go as Dermott decides to go the blind. Michael Jackson picked off. They'd like to run in some points to finish this game. Has been a good performance. They'd like to put the final nail in the coffin, and Dermott gets out from dummy half and picks up Derek Fox.
He does indeed, and Derek Fox gets it down inside the 22-metre line. 5 tackles gone. They'll probably use the hands again to promote the football. No, Eastwood, Steadman it is that puts the kick in. It's a very deep in goal here, but it will come out to the 22 for the restart. And referee McCallum is calling timeout. Gary Coyne is down injured and obviously bleeding profusely.
Well, I think that goes back to when Kelvin Skerritt actually dropped the ball. He may have been one of the players involved in the tackle. There did appear to be a clash of heads. Gary Coyne has certainly come off worse for wear. Here we see Kelvin Skerritt. Yeah, there's the clash of heads. We see Gary Coyne's head fly back, and the hands go straight to the forehead.
Bellamy. There's the siren in the background as Canberra throw the ball about. Norton comes down the ground, holds back the pass, picked up by Steadman, and that's the end of the game. It's all over, with Great Britain defeating Canberra by 24 points to 12. 24-12 then, in favour of Great Britain over Canberra. And we've decided that the MMI Insurance $1,000 man of the match should go to that man just taking the headgear off. Philip Clark, very strong performance in the lock forward role for Great Britain tonight. We'll pick the score on Footy Tab. Let's see what